Hey class, this is worksheet 1.7, scientific notation converting to and from. So let's take a quick look. You should have watched the Edpuzzle by this point. So anything I say is just going to be reinforcing what Mr. Palermo already discussed on the Edpuzzle. So first of all, we start off with our number 200, and if we're going to change that into scientific notation, the first thing I do is identify where the decimal point is. So the decimal point is right here after the last zero, or the last number, the last digit that's in the number. And then I move two places so that I have the number just to the left of it, like that. So I have my 2 times like that. And because I move two places and my number is larger than 1, that means that my 2 is positive. And that is literally all you have to do to convert a number into scientific notation. Because my number is larger than 1, it's a positive exponent, and I move two places to get the decimal point right after the number 2 in the number 200. Okay? So I do the same thing for the second one like this, except this time, when I do it, I write down my 2, my 5, and because I started with the decimal point after the 0, because that's there beforehand, not like in number 1 where there was no decimal point, because there's a decimal point there, that means the 0 is also significant, which means you have to list the 0 because of that decimal point. And then it's times 2, and it's 2 again because I jumped two places, 1, 2, like that, and my number is larger than 1, so that means it's a positive exponent. Take a look at the bottom one. I want you to do the third and the fourth one. And down here at the bottom one, notice that 21.0 is not in between 1 and 9, even though this number looks like it's scientific notation. This is actually not scientific notation. So what we do then is when we have a problem like this, then I move my decimal point one place to the left like this, and that means that I add one more onto my exponent. So what I have is 2.10 times 10 to the fourth instead of the third. Okay, so I add one more on when I move to the left, and I subtract one if I move it to the right. Okay, so I add one more on. Okay, good. Let's take a look at what happens when we go from scientific notation to regular notation. Okay, so here's the next part to this. I have a number in scientific notation. I have an exponent. This one's a positive exponent, which means I'm going to make this number larger, more than 1, and I do that by moving it 1, 2, 3 places to the right. When I move it 3 places to the right, notice that my decimal has one extra spot that I fill with a 0. So please use the zeros as placeholders. So here I have 3, 6, 5, 0 because I moved 3 places, 1, 2, and then 3. And the last place is a 0 for a placeholder. I do the same thing with the next one. So I'll skip down to, I'm going to do number 2, so I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops, 11, which is 8 zeros. So 7, 9, 8, 2. That gives me 3. Oop, that's 8 zeros. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I can check that by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And 11 jumps is correct. So let me just pull this down here and get this out of the way. Okay? And because my exponent is a positive, that means I'm jumping to the right to make the number larger. Take a look at number 4. Number 4 has a negative exponent. So what do we do with a negative exponent? We do exactly the same thing we would have done, except this time I move my decimal place to the left instead of the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I put my decimal and I fill in with zeros like that. So my answer is 0.000702. And that's what we get when we jump to the left to make our number less than 1. So here you're just going to do some practicing. The practicing should look like this. You can type this stuff actually right into the calculator. If you're using a calculator from me, hang on a second here. if you're using a calculator from me, you should be looking for, I believe, it says EE or EXP. I'm not sure which one it is. But what I would do in the calculator is I would type in 8.97 like this, and then I would use the EE key like that, and I would put a 4 in. And that would give you the number here times 10 to the 4th. And then simply hit subtract, and then 2.62, and then again EE or EXP, and then 3. And that will give you the answer. In this case here, 8.97 EE4 equals, and then minus, and then 2.62 EE3, and then equals. And what I get is 87,080 as my answer. And if I change that to scientific notation, that is 8.08 times 10 to the 4th, because I went 1, 2, 3, 4 places to the left. Okay, either of those answers is acceptable. So use your calculator to do the scientific notation, because then it makes it a lot easier. All right, good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.